doing it.
Yeah.
So he gives my head acid and I take it. And previously in that night, I watched Spider-Man. So I had this like whole thing in my head, like, oh, fucking Spider-Man.
Amazing.
Having a blast. And this kid, Alex Ralph, puts up a swing. He gets a piece of wood. Oh, they're crafty little kids. Gets a swing and a drill and drills 4 holes in the swing and a piece of yellow rope and threads it through the bottom of the swing and ties 2 knots and ties it around a tree.
Yeah.
And so me watching this whole thing go down, starting to tweak on acid, I'm like, this is fucking rad. How to make a swing. Like it's like one of those fucking shows on fucking Discovery Channel, how to, whatever they call it, how it works or whatever it is.
Yeah.
How it's made. So I was like, I'm all about this. So I'm like, I'm trying this swing first. So I get in the swing and I'm just starting to like hit. Like I'm just starting to feel it, seeing some shit, touching some shit, getting really into it.
All right.
And he gets me in the swing and he starts to twist me. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And because it's rope, I'm like good 10 feet. He's using my legs to like keep spinning.
Yeah.
And I'm like wound up real high. And he doesn't just let me go, but he like flips my legs.
Yeah.
And I start spinning.
Waka.
And I'm just tweaking now.
Okay.
I can see everything.
Yeah.
I'm not like blind and just seeing worlds. I can see like this camera can see.
Yeah.
I can see it all. I'm like a fucking pigeon. I got all views of everyone's faces at the same time. Everyone's like cheering me on. I'm fucking spinning and I'm just having a blast. I get out of the swing. I start like stumbling around. I fall to the floor. I'm like really dizzy. But I'm like still tripping and I'm looking up in the canopy of trees and they're like breathing on me and I'm just having a blast.
Yeah.
And then the kid's dad is there, Alex Ralph. His dad's like watching all of these kids fuck themselves up on drugs. Rather than give them a place to do it rather than not give them.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he comes on out with a bunch of ham slices.
Oh, right.
And like not even slices, they were like little chunks, little cubes of ham and like kielbasa on a plate. And I was like, I don't know what this is all about, but I'm going to eat some. I'm going to eat on acid,
Yeah.
And so I ate a bunch, and it was kind of weird swallowing and all that. So I went inside, and I remember it so vividly, all this shit, like in a row. But I went inside, and then there was this guy named Khalid who had dreadlocks.
Okay.
He was an Italian, like Ethiopian kid who moved here, and he spoke French and Italian and all those languages.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
And he was listening to that Zeppelin song, what's it called? Fucking. Yeah. You know that one? And
I know the track, but I don't know the name. Yeah.
And he's fucking headbanging. And I walk in the room, and I'm just like watching this hair because his dreadlocks just fucking flop around.
Awesome.
And I am just mesmerized. And, I walk around this cool lit apartment of this house. It's like a bungalow in the beaches. And it was really nice, like, vibe. And, everyone's having a good time. And then we have to leave. And we all start going up north to the subway station at like 1 a.m. And we see all these like people outside of Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
And we walk there. There's a dude on the floor with a fucking knife in his head. And I don't know if I'm tripping balls or not at this point anymore. So everyone's like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. Get on this bus. So we all run to the bus stop, get on the bus. And most people start getting off because they all live in the beaches. And me and this girl take it out of the subway station. She goes, I'm going east, you're going west.
Yeah.
Like, get on there. And we talking shit. We exchange numbers. She goes one way, I go the other. I get on the subway, not really sure if what I'm seeing was real. So I just kind of like throw it under the rug. I'm like, it wasn't real. We didn't see that. I'm going to forget about it. No, nothing. So we, I'm on the subway and now I'm, by myself and I start to notice, start to notice all these things on the subway, The floor is like what looks like marbling because it's the subway old floors. What were those? Like the floor was kind of like, it looked like this a little bit.
Yeah.
But every time the train went back, like when you started, because I was coming from fucking like far east, like main station or something.
Okay, yeah.
So every time the train started to drive and you got pushed back by the force, all the color on the floor would push back to the back of the train. So I was sitting at the back of the train with the door behind me, and I watched the floor come from the fucking one end of the train, whoosh, like whooshing back, and I kept like looking on the floor and like trying not to like touch it and like keep my feet up. So I busted out my fucking book bag as I was, you know, 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
And started writing notes about what I was seeing.
Okay.
And next thing you know, I'm at Kipling Station, and I'm supposed to go off at Dufferin, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I have to get back, you know, the other way. So I wait, and the guy's like, this is the last train going eastbound. I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm like, I gotta get off, you know. So I'm staring at the floor, like tripping balls, like trying to catch my stop. I miss it again. I think I get off at Ossington at this time, but I finally get off and I get home. And as soon as I get home, I turn on the TV, whatever, check CB24 for the time. Yeah. Don't I see that some fucking guy gets stabbed in the head at Queen and Maine?
Oh no!
Outside Tim Hortons, and I was like, oh my god, that shit was real, motherfucker! No. I was like, and then that like sent me for a whirl all night, like you were saying earlier about like life being precious.
Yes.
And now I'm like high on acid for the first time, tripping out about me fucking living my life in this like existential bubble of like reality. Like I don't even know what I'm doing, what I believe in anymore. This guy's dead in front of me type shit. And so I started freaking out. So I have this VHS tape of, you may have actually given it to me, or maybe I stole it from Peter Rothman.
Go on.
But it was a VHS tape of a Chad Muska in France video.
Okay.
It
rings a bell.
Osiris? What?
Oh no, Circa.
Circa.
Yeah.
So
Circa or Shorties.
It was maybe it was a Shorties video. Actually.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a Shorties video. So he goes to France and like skates all these like really sick like underground skate parks and does all this cool shit. Yeah. But I watched that movie like 17 times, man. It was like a 35-minute video. Yeah. And I got home at like 2 a.m. and I fucking stayed up till the sun come up watching that video on replay. I just kept rewinding it and fucking watching the shit real hard. And just like being like in it and like comparing it to like life. And like I cried watching it. I don't even know. I'm watching guys skateboard. And like there's like such a like weird vibe to the whole night that like every time I watched it I got like a different emotion out of it, and I just kept watching it, and then eventually I fell asleep, and when I woke up I went to the bathroom and came back to my room. My room smelled like fucking assholes. I guess I sweat out whatever fucking chemicals.
There we go.
I literally smelled like a sack of shit. Like I had shit in my pants. My room smelled like fucking human poo.
Did you shit your pants?
No. It was just like sweat. Like I looked at the bed. My bed was soaked. I could feel it in my head. I just wanted to hide myself with my mom. Do you have a lighter?
I do. Well, you know what? That was a fucking great story about one hell of a wild trip.
It was heavy shit. Awesome. And then I've had terrible fucking trips on both sides of the board.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that one right there encompassed a whole roller coaster of emotions.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, at the end of it was a good trip.